Alright guys, today we're going to talk about what not to do with Alchemy Pay. Now, Alchemy Pay was designed to allow you to pay for your purchases with crypto, right? But that's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to pay for your purchases with crypto through Alchemy Pay. That is a big scam because why? Well, we're going to talk about that in this video. We're also going to go through the news, what are the recent updates with Alchemy Pay and the world. So if you're new to this channel or you're a returning viewer and you haven't yet subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribing is free, so make sure you smash that like button and smash that subscribe button before continuing on with this video. Alright, you got that done? Let's get into it. Ran through this very funny article on the Medium blog, buying groceries with crypto. They say that cryptocurrency is the future of finance. I agree with that. I really do agree that cryptocurrency, that's going to be the future. You know, what they can do is they can make instant and cheap cross-border payments, and it's also secure and a trustless system for all because it's decentralized, right? So nobody controls it. There's no one group of people or one person that controls the system. And by doing that, we can really open up a lot of services around the world for those who are currently unbanked. That means maybe some people from third world country in Africa who doesn't have a bank. Because they don't have a bank, or even if they don't have an address, then they really struggle with getting certain necessary services that are really given to us here in the first world, right? And what this article is talking about is that cryptocurrency is really still struggling to replace things like grocery shopping, which is something that we do every day. Those of you who are new to crypto, right now you can't really replace crypto or fiat with crypto because crypto is just so volatile. I mean, if you just look at the charts for Bitcoin, it is so volatile. It just falls, goes up and down, and it can go up and down several $1,000s in a day. That is crazy. Now, for investors that love volatility, that is great. That is a great investment or a great speculative play for intraday trading. But for businesses, they can't work with that. So Alchemy Pay's use case here is that they can convert whatever crypto it is you want to pay with to fiat with lower fees and faster settlement. So according to them, transaction fees for them is about 70% less than what you would pay for with credit cards, and it's 1 to 2 days. That's the settlement time. But with credit cards, for example, the settlement time may take as much or more than 7 days. So basically, ACH takes your crypto, converts it to fiat, and pays the business, and you get the product. I really think that how Alchemy Pay works, at least in America, is a big scam. Because I don't see credit cards being replaced by Alchemy Pay, regardless of the transaction fees, because the merchant pays for that. Well, until now, actually, because I went to a Chinese restaurant recently, and they're like, if you're doing credit cards, we're gonna have to pay for the merchant fees. I'm like, okay. So maybe that's going to change, but for most big restaurants that you go to, like chain restaurants, the merchants usually take care of the merchant fees that are charged by the credit card companies, right? So the credit card benefits, that is points, are usually too good, at least in America. The higher fees that are charged to merchants by the credit card companies, well, they can in turn use that to provide you with benefits, to provide their consumers, their clients, the credit card users with benefits. Let's say lounges. Where do you think the money for that comes from? If you can get 5% cash back from using your credit card versus getting 0% cash back from using crypto, which one would you use? That's a no-brainer. And crypto right now, hate to say it, is more of a speculation than anything. What we're doing is we're speculating on whether this project can deliver. And to be honest, even ACH token is highly speculative right now. But for use case though, in a country other than America, for example, Canada, because when I was living in Canada, the rewards, the benefits from using credit cards sucked other than it providing you with a credit history. Other than that, you don't really get good rewards. So any other country using crypto and using credit cards probably has no difference. So I can see it working, that use case really working on every other country except America. So over here, they did a number on the Metaverse with Alchemy Pay. And I want to bring you to what they say here. So they say that cryptocurrencies that underpin the blockchain metaverse economy are entirely global. The interactions that occur in the metaverse are global and borderless, and so the financial transactions ultimately must be as well. It is hard to imagine the metaverse reaching its potential if the money we use in this emerging market is still limited to borders. So guys, believe it or not, about 7.7 billion people with a B in the world do not know anything about cryptos. They don't know how crypto tokens work, exchanges work, how wallets work, things like that. We didn't even get started with connecting MetaMask to a decentralized application on the internet yet. So basically what we have right now is onboarding is a nightmare. And Alchemy Pay's way of changing consumer habits is to not change consumer habits. When it comes to grandma, she's not going to learn how to use crypto. She's used to cash. She's used to hard-earned cash. She's not even used to credit cards. So maybe we can take grandma out of the picture, but maybe dad or mom, they know how to use credit cards. We can start with them. With the use of PayPal, MasterCard, and Visa, ACH allows mom and dad to participate in the metaverse using their credit cards, what they're used to, instead of crypto. So they're not changing consumer behavior at all. And because Alchemy Pay is also integrated with guys like Polygon, Elrond, Near, Algorand, and AVAX, then any dApp developer who are building on top of those blockchain, on top of those platforms, will now be able to leverage Alchemy Pay and grab customers that are only used to using credit cards and fiat currencies. So if they don't know how to use cryptos, no problem, we'll still take your cards. Scam for you guys, or the tip for you. When you can pay with credit cards, when you can pay with fiat, then I want you to pay with fiat. I would say always pay with fiat. Well, that applies for right now because most of the crypto that you want to buy, right? You want to buy them, you want to hold them for the chance to flip them later at a higher price, right? So you get profit. And if I could pay to use the metaverse with a Visa, with a MasterCard, with an Amex, then I would go ahead and do that because one, I get to earn points, and two, I probably won't have to pay for the fees unless they bake in the fees of like the Ethereum fees on the network into the credit card fees. Then at that point, you gotta wonder. But for Americans or people living in the USA with American cards that have really good reward structure, then most of the time you would want to use a credit card when you're operating in the crypto world, whether you're trading or you're buying things. And that's not to say that I hate decentralized exchanges or DEXs. I would use decentralized exchanges or DEXs, but I would prefer to use centralized exchanges and make swaps with USDT or Tether or something. Unless the token that you're after doesn't exist on a CEX or a centralized exchange, then and only then should you use a decentralized exchange because of Ethereum fees. They're ridiculous. You want the centralized exchange to absorb that. But I just gotta say that that doesn't apply to other blockchains like Polygon or Cardano because the transaction fees there are basically zero. So in terms of fees, it's better to trade there, but there's really not a lot of tokens that are built on Cardano and Polygon right now. Everything is mainly still on Ethereum. So until we see a lot of tokens, another ecosystem on Cardano, on Polygon, on AVAX, on Solana, then we're still playing with Ethereum. Now, this is old news. It's probably been covered by someone else, but I didn't cover it yet, so that's why I'm covering it. But ACH Alchemy Pay is now on Binance Smart Chain, which means that when we were talking about the huge Ethereum fees, the ridiculous Ethereum fees, now you can escape that because being on other blockchains, on multiple blockchains, allows you to take advantage of the cheaper fees that are on the other blockchains. And guys, just to reiterate, I'm from Canada. I was born and raised in Vancouver, just to reiterate, if you didn't know. And the things that are happening in Canada right now is freaking whack. And if you don't know what I'm referring to specifically this. What's happening is Trudeau, who is our prime minister, has invoked the Emergencies Act to end Freedom Convoy because there's a trucker strike or something. And this is what they call Canada's terrorist financing. And that rule now covers crypto. So basically what's happening is that according to this article, as of today, when this article was written, a bank or other financial service provider will be able to immediately freeze or suspend the account of an individual or business affiliated with these illegal blockades without a court order. In doing so, they will be protected against civil liability. And the Deputy Prime Minister also noted that they are broadening the scope of Canada's anti-money laundering and terrorist financing rules so they cover crowdfunding platforms and the payment service providers they use. And these changes cover all forms of transactions, including digital assets such as cryptocurrencies. So for my Canadian brothers and sisters out there, I'm heading over to Canada this weekend. Is there anything I should prepare for? Let me know in the comments below. Things are looking pretty crazy. So we're gonna finish off with some technical analysis. You could see that I still have my previous drawings here that I think I last looked at Alchemy Pay some time ago, maybe in December, because that's where my little box is. But anyways, you could see that this green line here, it's 6 cents, 7 cents. 6/7/100th of a cent is where the resistance is. You could see that it really jumped from February 16th to right now is the 17th. So over the last day, it jumped and tagged that, it wicked that, tried to break through, but it didn't break through. So what it did instead is it fell back down. So these imbalances here where it just goes all the way up without consolidating, without having some chop like this is what's scary and what you should stay away from. So I wouldn't have invested in this just because it ran up so high. When it runs, you already missed the boat. So just wait for the next boat, because what usually happens is that it's going to go back down, and that is exactly what it's doing right now. Over the past day, it's just been falling. And you kind of see the same here from, let's say, February 8th to February 9th. That one day, it just jumped all the way up. And what did it do? It just went back down and made some chop. So you could say that the new level of support really is around this area, because this is the level. Let's just put a horizontal line here. Let's just put a line here. This acted as resistance for these two levels here, and you could say almost this one as well. And if we go back in history, I bet you that there's gonna be some interesting levels here as well. Oh, no, there actually isn't. This was just on Coinbase, so it just blew up. So this is not a full chart. But what I can say right now is that if you want to get into Alchemy Pay, which honestly, I wouldn't get into Alchemy Pay right now. But if I drew the fib retracement for you, then from low to high, what I would get into is, I wouldn't get into it right now, just to be honest. I usually get in between the 0.5 and 618, and right now it already passed the 618. So what we're waiting for is the 786. If it breaks down the 786 and closes below the 786, then that's bad news. So if you're looking for a level to buy, probably at 4.81 of the cent, that is what I'm gonna look for. But anyways, that's all I got for charting today. Alright guys, that's all I got for today. When in doubt, look at the price of Bitcoin and what it's doing. Because when Bitcoin is just dumping, then what you do is use Fibonacci to dollar cost average into the cryptos you want, right? That is called buying the dip. Other than that, I really hope you got something from today's video, learned a little bit more about Alchemy Pay, and got some tips on how to use credit cards with Alchemy Pay. Other than that, if you've enjoyed this video, then please feel free to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, check out these other videos on cryptocurrencies and passive income. And remember guys, continue working, continue building, continue inspiring. See you next time.